we are congregated here today for a momentous occasion which will further strengthen the already established Indo-Tanzanian bilateral relations. We welcome you all to this special convocation ceremony of India's premier university, Jawaharlal Nehru University. Today, we have the privilege of conferring an honorary doctorate degree upon our distinguished guest, the first women president of Tanzania, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan. With utmost respect, I would like to invite our Honorable First Women Vice Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, Professor Shanti Shri Dhulipudi Pandit, for the welcome address.
Namaste to all of you. Good morning. Most respected Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan, who's also known as Mama Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, and in the very spirit of our Honorable Prime Minister, we celebrate Nari Shakti today, that is women's-led development and women empowerment in the Amrit Kal, that is the 76th year of our independence, leading to 100 years. Respected External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is also an alumnus of this university, and we are extremely proud of you, sir, at the successful completion of the G20+1, where you made a master stroke of getting the African Union into the G20. Respected Education Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, who has transformed the role of higher education institutions through his revolutionary National Education Policy 2020, because of which, Your Excellency, we thank you for hosting the first IIT campus abroad in Zanzibar, which also brings in the internationalization of Indian education. And let me tell you, both IITs and JNU are public institutions funded by the government of India. So thank you, Minister, for being here today. I also welcome our respected Chancellor, Ambassador Kanwal Sibal, a seasoned diplomat and the former Foreign Secretary and Ambassador to several countries. He has just taken over, so we look for your guidance to make JNU go higher in its echelons. And dignitaries of the dais, honorable ministers from Tanzania, India, the Minister of State for Education, officials from the Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Education, JNU faculty, and students. Tiruvalluvar said the root of peace rests upon the walls of understanding. So today, Jawaharlal Nehru University is extremely happy to honor Her Excellency, the President of Tanzania. 1985, when I was a student, your father of the nation, Julius Nyerere, was also given an honorary doctorate by the Jawaharlal Nehru University. And a great friend of India as well, and JNU is extremely proud of that. Let me tell the Honorable President that Jawaharlal Nehru University is one of India's topmost university, as well as one of the topmost in international rankings. We are in the top 10 in 5 subjects in the QS rankings. We have also produced 2 Nobel Prize winners, and both of them in economics. And hence, I welcome you to Jawaharlal Nehru University today. As most of you know, that recently concluded G20 summit in New Delhi marked a significant milestone for diplomacy. The New Delhi declaration that emerged from this summit is a testament of India's exceptional ability to table ideas, shape global issues, bridge divides, and forge a consensus. At the heart of the summit was India's unwavering commitment for the promotion of an inclusive and equitable approach to highlight the interests of the global South, which also includes Africa. The most notable is, as I've already told you, the inclusion of the African continent, because India acknowledges the pivotal role of the African continent in shaping the agenda on international problems. In moving forward, the accomplishment of the summit will serve as a beacon of hope and inspiration for the international community, reminding us of the power of collaboration in addressing our shared global challenges in an extremely divided world. And it also had the motto of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means one earth, one family, one future. So we are a family, we have a common future. Education is one that has also become a part of this endeavor of the vision and mission of our revolutionary Prime Minister Modi. The motto of excellence with empathy, equality with equity, inclusion with integrity and innovation is even more relevant today. The goal of becoming a Vishwa Guru, a leader in the knowledge society, requires transformational reforms in education. Our Honorable Minister here has been giving a very strong leadership in heralding in the NEP, New Education Policy of 2020, which is indeed a unique framework, for it brings in continuity with change, realm with region, holism with specialization, the stress on interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary aspects of knowledge, balance between science and technology, social sciences, humanities and languages, a touch of the local, regional with the national and international, as well as the universal. Madam, we are proud that you are also a product of Indian education. You're training in Hyderabad, and extremely proud that Indian education is contributing to global integrity and being of one family. I would also like to only say that JNU also has a Center for African Studies, which began in 1969 as a special center, and in 2009 it became a specialized center where we study issues related to Africa, politics and governance. And we also have Ministry of External Affairs has established the Nelson Mandela Chair in Jawaharlal Nehru University, where we invite African academics to come and be part of our staff and faculty to take lectures for a semester or two. And hence I would like to once again, Madam, welcome you this morning only by telling you that JNU celebrates 7 Ds, which is a part of our also civilizational values, and that is democracy, difference, debate, dialogue, deliberation, dissent, and development. Once again, welcome, ma'am, to Jawaharlal Nehru University, and we are extremely proud to give the first woman the honorary doctorate, and I think JNU is greatly benefited by your presence this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Madam, for your inspirational and informative address. We now request Honorable Chancellor of Jawaharlal Nehru University, Ambassador Shri Kanwal Sibal, for the address. Ambassador Sibal retired as Foreign Secretary to the Government of India. In 2017, he was awarded with the prestigious Padam Shri Award for his distinguished services in the field of public affairs.
Honorable President of Tanzania, Honorable Ministers on the podium, Honorable Vice Chancellor. As the Vice Chancellor said, I took over my new responsibilities, if these are responsibilities, just a few days ago. It's supposed to be a ceremonial post, so I thought I would only be part of the ceremony, so they didn't tell me I needed to speak. But you know, I am very happy to be able to talk to you because of my personal association with Tanzania. As Deputy High Commissioner of India in Tanzania from 1976 to 79, at the time when Mwalimu Julius Nyerere was president, I got to know the country and his people, and of course his wonderful game parks. One of the people I met and cultivated and got to know rather well was Mr. Ben Makapa when he was in the Daily News. And later, when I followed a career a little bit, he became the president of your country. I knew another gentleman, Mr. Maramba. He was the head of the Small Industry Development Organization. I couldn't follow his career, but we had a very good relationship because it is in this area that we were cooperating a lot with Tanzania to help set up small industries in the country. And then, of course, we climbed the Kilimanjaro in January 1977 with Colonel Amin Kashmiri. But the interesting part is this, that they wanted absolutely the same gentleman who planted the Uhuru flag on Kilimanjaro in 1960, 60. That is Major Nirende. And but Nirende was in Zambia at that time. And he was drinking a lot of beer, so he was not as fit as he was when he first climbed the Kilimanjaro. So we went up. In the last stretch, the people around wanted to make absolutely sure that he reached the top. So they physically carried him in the last few meters to the top. But it was a wonderful experience. And of course, the remarkable game parks that you have, whether it's in Ngorongoro, or it is Serengeti, or Manyara, where the lions sit on the trees, what have you. It was, and then of course, there's a personal touch. My son was born there, in Muhimbili Hospital. And so I have very strong emotional connections, political connections, in the sense of great regard for this country. At that time, of course, President Nyerere and his whole concept of Ujama villages and everything else, in order to have grassroots development in the country, I think a little bit akin to Mahatma Gandhi's own idea that you must develop the rural countryside and the villages so they become self-sufficient. And that's the path to development rather than industrialization and this and that. That was not very popular in Africa at that time. The World Bank was not interested in helping the Ujama concept. They wanted to build up Kenya as an alternative model. Anyway, our foreign minister visited at that time. Mr. Jumbe was the vice president, and he was the president of Zanzibar. So we went across, and he gave a big trunk full of cloves to our foreign minister. And I got a packet. And my mother said that these are the best cloves that she's ever come across. You produce the best cloves in the world. Now, on a more serious note, as you know, we have always paid tremendous attention to Africa. Always, always. The legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, but not only that. I think now there is now widespread acceptance that Africa is the new continent. People don't have a proper idea of the development that is taking place in various parts of Africa. So there's tremendous potential there, and the whole approach to Africa by the rest of the world community has to change. But in our case, I think we never had that kind of an exploitative approach towards Africa, that you extract minerals and everything else. It has never been. It is much more cooperative in nature, building up capacities in various areas, training, education, capacity building in general, health, IT, what have you, and do projects which the country wants, not which sort of suit our own interests. We, as was mentioned, took the lead to propose the membership of the African Union in the G20 successfully. But before that, as you know, as part of the, of course, at the G20, we focus on the Global South in a big way. As the Foreign Minister will mention, that we had this meeting of Voice of the Global South in 125 countries participated virtually. But it goes further back. There was the South Commission, of which President Julius Nyerere was the chairman. Our former Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh was the secretary. So this whole concept of solidarity with the global south has been very much a part of our foreign policy, and in this, I think Tanzania has a very central feature. Thank you very much.
Hello. Thank you so much, sir, for highlighting the emotional connection with the Republic of Tanzania. We are sure that this will help us to build cultural connection with the Republic of Tanzania in future. We now request Honorable Minister of Education, who is also the Honorable Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan ji, to deliver his address. Honorable Minister has also held the portfolios of State, Independent Charge for the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Ministry of Steel.
Good morning. Your Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of United Republic of Tanzania, distinguished ministers and member of delegation of Tanzania, External Affairs Minister of India, Sri Jaishankar ji, Chancellor of JNU, Ambassador Kanwal Shibbal ji, Vice Chancellor of JNU, Srimati Shanti Sri Pandit ji, esteemed members of the diplomatic community from various African nations present here, senior officials from Government of India, representative head of academic institution and think tanks, faculty members, my dear students. I would like to extend a warm welcome to Your Excellency President Samia Suluhu Hassan and the dignitaries accompanying her. It is my profound honor and privilege to be here today on the occasion of the conferment of the honorary doctorate on the first female president of Tanzania. Your maiden state visit to India, Excellency, is historic and will contribute to the further consolidating the long-standing friendly ties between India and Tanzania. Today, the leadership provided by you and Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji guides India-Tanzania relations to greater heights. Tanzania is a key African partner of India. We count on your support to amplify the concern and the aspirations of the global south. On the international stage, especially in the field of education and human resource development. Both our nations have youthful demographics and face similar challenges, primarily delivering skill-focused, market-aligned higher education. We therefore need to collaborate more. Excellency, India has a vibrant higher education ecosystem with 55,000 higher education institutions, 42 million students, and 1.6 million teachers shaping the future of our nation through their shared pursuit of excellence. To further strengthen this pursuit, India is implementing an aspirational National Education Policy 2020, which has brought to transformative reforms in our educational ecosystem. Built on the foundational pillar of access, equity, quality, affordability and accountability, it aspires to create responsible global citizens. We have brought in reforms in improve the quality of higher education by promoting multidisciplinary and flexibility through multiple entry and multiple exit. We have made great strides in creating digital public infrastructure in education system. Through multimodal delivery of education, we have democratized access to knowledge and reached more people in remote areas. We are revolutionizing vocational education by creating framework and infrastructures for seamless integration of school, skill and higher education and promoting industry-academia linkage. We have been actively sharing our knowledge and expertise in capacity building and higher education with fellow development partners in Africa in the spirit of South-South cooperation. Recently, we witnessed the joyous moment of welcoming the African Union as a permanent member of G20 under India's presidency. I am confident that this will further strengthen the G20 and the voice of Global South. Every year, a number of foreign students come to India for their education in India university and colleges. We are happy that many Tanzanian students prefer to come to India for higher education. We have recently revamped our Study in India portal to ease the admission and visa process for foreign students coming to India. India boasts of a large number of educational institutions of excellence such as Indian Institute of Technology, Indian Institute of Management and National Institute of Technology among others. I am happy that the first offshore campus of any IIT is being set up in Zanzibar. I am told that the IIT Madras Zanzibar campus is scheduled to be inaugurated by early next month. Excellency, this institute will prove to be a milestone in educational cooperation between our great nations and continents by providing students from Tanzania, other African countries with access to world-class engineering and technology education. This will help in nation building and will drive economic growth, technology, development and research and innovation in Africa. In this regard, I must sincerely express my gratitude to you and Government of Tanzania for hosting the campus. Guided by our National Education Policy 2020, India is actively contributing to deepen cooperation with our development partners in Africa. We strive to work with you hand in hand to equip our youth with 21st century education skills to prepare them for the future. We are encouraging our base skill development institutions to go to Tanzania and other African countries. Excellency, I would also be coming to Tanzania for this pivotal role in promoting the education agenda domestically and regionally through its national strategy for growth and poverty reduction. The successful implementation of primary and school education development programs and the successful hosting of African Human Capital Heads of State Summit, among other accomplishments. Under your leadership, I am confident cooperation between India and Tanzania in the field of education and development of human capital as well as the people-to-people ties will continue to intensify. Madam President, let me compete with our Chancellor, Ambassador Sibal. He fondly recollect his memory of Tanzania's period. Recently, Madam President, one of the young girl from my native town in the eastern part of country, I belong to a state, Odisha, from a native small town. One girl climbed the Kalimanjaro mountain and he brought the pride for all of us. With these words, I once again welcome Your Excellency and your distinguished delegation and congratulate you on receiving this prestigious doctorate. Thank you, friends.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, sir, for your address and for always being supportive and encouraging all academic endeavors in JNU. Now we are privileged to have with us the Honorable Minister of External Affairs of India, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, a renowned diplomat. We are proud to inform you that Honorable Minister is an alumnus of our premier university, Jawaharlal Nehru University. With utmost respect, I invite him to deliver his address.
Your Excellency, President Samia Suluhu Hassan, esteemed ministers from Tanzania, my cabinet colleague, Shri Dharmendra Pradhanji, Honorable Chancellor, Shri Ambassador Kamal Sibalji, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Santishri Dhulupudi Pandit, Excellencies, dignitaries, ladies, gentlemen, students. Namaskar, Havari, good morning. It is a matter of great pride for us to confer the honorary doctorate on President Samia Suluhu Hassan today from the Jawaharlal Nehru University. I take particular satisfaction in this as an alumnus of this university. Honorable President is no stranger to India and has personally experienced the capabilities of Indian institutions. Though it is our first chance to welcome her as the President of Tanzania, we greet her as an old friend. By honoring her with an educational conferment, we not only recognize her long association with India, but highlight this particular aspect of our relationship. Education and capacity building are important facets of our bilateral ties. Over 5,000 Tanzanian nationals have been trained in educational institutions in India under our iTech program. India also plays host to several Tanzanian students who study in India. And in our universities, young minds brim with confidence as they shape India's future through their startups, inventions, and innovations. They carry a profound sense of responsibility and duty towards our collective future, and I'm sure that their Tanzanian fellow students certainly benefit from that. Taking this link further from our side, Tanzania is, as you have all heard, the preferred destination to set up the first overseas campus of the Indian Institute of Technology in Zanzibar. Classes for the first batch are scheduled to begin this month. The institution has the potential to become the premier center for technical education for the entire African continent. It is symbolic of our cooperation with the Global South, and I deem it a personal privilege to have been present in Zanzibar at its inauguration. As I noted, the first cohort of, I believe, 70 students has been finalized, and it actually reminds me of my own years in JNU because these years were the inception years of this university. Providing a voice for the Global South has been the overriding concern of our G20 presidency. And again, you're all familiar that we consulted with 125 countries at the Voice of the Global South Summit to ensure that the G20 addresses the fundamental issues of the developing world. The inclusion of the African Union into the G20 as a full member was one of the highest successes of our presidency. But I would like to take this occasion to underline that the rise of Africa is, we believe, central to global rebalancing. Our support for that process is therefore unstinted. Most of our embassies, I should share with you, most of our embassies that we have opened in the last decade are in that continent. I should also add that the visit by the Honorable President Samia Suluhu Hassan is the first visit from Africa after the inclusion of the AU into the G20, and we recognize that significance as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, India and Tanzania enjoy traditionally close and friendly relations marked by sound political understanding, regular high-level visits, diversified economic engagement, and strong people-to-people contacts. Our trade relations with Tanzania date back several centuries when traders from the western coast of India first traveled to East Africa along the maritime route for trade and commerce. In fact, yesterday, when the Honorable President met Prime Minister Modi, this was the connect between our western coastline, the state of Gujarat, and Zanzibar in particular, I think was very much the subject of conversation. Economic ties between our two countries have always been a strong pillar. I'm happy to inform that despite the global disruption and challenges posed by the pandemic, our bilateral trade has witnessed strong growth from both sides and today stands at close to $6 billion. With India already as the fifth largest economy, the Indian government is vigorously